Good day, everyone. Welcome to part A of lecture number 13. In lecture 12, part B, we were discussing about the decode stage. We completed the fetch stage, instruction fetch stage. So we were discussing about the decode stage and or operand fetch stage. And for that particular stage, we said that we have to perform three operations. Instruction is to be decoded. Second, find the value of source operands, read the register file, okay, reg file, and the third was to calculate immediate and branch target. The first two functionalities we completed in that particular lecture, and the aim of today's lecture is to discuss how we will calculate immediate and branch target. So we know that immediate is there in I format, S format, U format, SB format, and UJ format instructions. In all these instructions, we have to calculate the immediate. Okay, there is only R format instructions that do not carry any immediate value. So for I format instructions, instruction 20 to 31. If we have an instruction, the bits from 20 to 31, they represent the immediates 0 to 11 bits. Okay, and then we have to convert these 12 bits 0 to 11 into 32-bit immediate. Okay, 32-bit immediate we have to convert. And how we are converting these 12 bits into 32-bit immediate? That is done either by sign extension or by adding zeros. Sign extension for signed numbers and adding zeros for unsigned numbers. Okay, that is for I format instruction. For S format instruction, the immediate is the 12 bits of the immediate, 0 to 11. So these are stored at two locations. Instructions 25 to 31 stores immediate 5 to 11 bits, and instructions 7 to 11, it stores immediates 0 to 4 bits. Okay, so for forming the immediate of in case of S format instruction, we have to get these two components in the instruction and we will get the immediate. And from these two parts, we will then form an immediate. Immediate of how many bits? 32 bits. The first 12 bits will come from these two components, and the remaining bits will be either sign extension or adding the zeros. Likewise, for U format instruction instruction 12 to 31 stores the immediates 12 to 31 bits. Now remains the immediates 0 to 11 bits. Those bits are filled with zeros to form a 32-bit immediate. Similarly goes for SB and UJ format instructions. So we will make a circuit for calculating the immediate. So we will say that we have a logic like this. We have an I format. For I format instructions, so we will calculate, we will give instruction 20 to 31 as input, and from this portion it will calculate it as immediate. We will give the same instruction to S format, and this S format takes input instruction 25 to 31, or we can say it extracts these two parts and instruction 7 to 11, and using these two components of the instruction, it will have its own immediate. Then comes the U format. It takes instruction 12 to 31. From these bits, it can form the immediate. Then we have SB format. If we have an SB format in instruction, it takes input, or we can say it can form immediate using these components. In instruction 31, in instruction 7, seventh bit of the instruction. In instruction is 8 to 11 bits, and in instruction is 25 to 31. Okay, and likewise we have UJ format. So UJ format can make an immediate using the following instruction components: 31 in instruction 20th bit, in instruction 12 to 19, and in instruction 21 to 30. Okay, so from these bits it can calculate it as immediate. Likewise SB format instructions. So let's say our instruction is for example add I x1 comma x2 comma 3. This is our instruction. So basically what is this instruction? This is an I format instruction. So I format can find its immediate using the instructions 20 to 31 bits. Okay, it will find the immediate. However, we are designing the circuit in such a way that I format will also work for this instruction. Okay, S format will work for this instruction and will find the immediate. U format, this block will process this instruction and find the immediate. This will also find the immediate. This will also find the immediate. This will use these components and this will use these particular components. However, we know that this instruction is the I format instruction. So all the other immediates are useless. They are not the right immediates. The right immediate is the output given by the I format. So from these possible immediates that are generated by these 5 circuits, we have to choose a one. And for choosing that particular one, we will use a multiplexer. And this particular multiplexer takes 5 inputs. 5 inputs will be I format, S format, the immediate given by the S format, immediate given by the U format, immediate given by SP format block, this block, and immediate given by UJ format block. And from these 5, it will choose one. Okay, and we know that for this particular instruction, which one it should choose? It should choose the output given by the I format block. Okay, and it should ignore these particular immediates. And how will the multiplexer choose the particular this particular immediate? It chooses based on control lines. So it will have 3 control lines, and these control lines or signals, these will be generated by a control unit. Control unit will also get this instruction, this particular instruction, and it will see that this particular instruction is add I. So it will give the control signals to this multiplexer that you have to choose this particular input. So let's suppose if the 3 control signals are 0, 0, 0, it will choose immediate I format. If the control signals are 0, 0, 1, it will choose S format. If it is 0, 1, 0, it will choose U format. If it is 1, 0, 0, it will choose SB format. If it is 1, 0, 1, it will choose UJ format. So our control unit will generate signal 0, 0, 0 for this particular instruction. So our multiplexer, the output will be this particular immediate, and all the other immediates will be cancelled out. They won't be forwarded. So we will get the correct immediate value. Okay. Likewise, in case of branch instructions, for example, we have a branch instruction. And branch instruction is of SB format. So in branch instruction SB format, we find out the immediate. Basically, immediate is our offset there, branch offset. And Here, our control signal for that particular instruction will generate signal as 100, 100. So it will choose this particular immediate. And this particular immediate will be our offset. And after finding the offset, we will calculate the branch target. Branch target or branch PC. And that branch PC will be equal to program counter plus offset. This will be our branch target or branch offset. For example, in case of if we have an add instruction, okay, so we are saying that we have this multiplexer, we have these blocks, I format, S format, U format, SB format, and UJ format. These are our blocks, and these are giving the immediate. And from these immediates, we are choosing one immediate based on the type of instruction, and that is determined by our control signals. Let's say, and after getting the immediate, we have a branch unit. Branch unit that calculates the branch target. And how it calculates the branch target? It takes PC as input, and this immediate is offset. This is our branch PC or branch target. Let's say our instruction is add I x1 comma x2 comma 3. Okay, so our these will generate the immediate, this will generate its immediate, this also, this one, and this one. And this multiplexer will choose which one? This particular immediate, because this is I format instruction. So it will choose this particular immediate, and this immediate reaches here. Now branch unit calculates branch target, but we know that this is not a branch instruction. So why are we calculating the branch target? We are calculating the branch target, as I said previously, that we will calculate all the components for all the instructions. Whatever we want to calculate, we will calculate it. So we are calculating a branch target here. For what type of instruction? Add I. But we know that this is not a branch instruction. So this won't be of any use. We are calculating this, but later on we won't use this branch target or branch PC. And this will be used only in case of branch instructions. Because later on in the execute stage, for this particular instruction, we will generate a signal is branch taken as equal to 0. Since is branch taken is equal to 0, and we said that if is branch taken is equal to 0, then here, if branch taken is 0, this control signal is 0, that means we have to choose PC plus 4. So in that particular scenario, branch target or branch PC is not allowed to go forward. So we are not using branch target for those particular instructions. So we are calculating the branch target for all the instructions, but we are using branch target for only those instructions which are the branch instructions and which are taken branches. Because only for taken branches, branch target will be used. For not taken branches, the branch target will not be used. The update will be PC plus 4. Okay, so we have completed the decode stage, and the three operations that we have to perform in the decode stage was, the first operation was to decode the instruction to find out all the components. Second was to read our register file to find the source operands, and the third was to calculate immediate and branch target. So we can say we are having a fetch unit, and the output from the fetch was instruction. So this was taken PC, and please remember PC is input to every stage of the processor. So PC is input to fetch. It is also input to our second stage, which is decode stage. So our second stage, decode stage, has an input instruction and program counter, and output is, what is the output? The output is the value of registers op1 and op2. Okay, components, for example opcode, the type of operation that we have to perform, also immediate and branch target. So these are the outputs from the decode stage. Not only opcode but also func3 and func7. Op1, op2, opcode, func3, func7, immediate and branch target. So these are the outputs from the decode stage. Now these outputs go as input to the next stage. And what is the next stage? The next stage is execute. And this PC also goes as input to the execute stage. Okay. So the next stage in our processor is the execute stage. And the functional and the various functions that we have to perform in the execute stage is to perform arithmetic and logic operations depending upon the type of instruction. Second, generate effective memory address. For example, in case of load and store instructions, we have to generate the effective memory address. And third functionality is to generate outcome of a branch. That means this will generate this particular signal, is branch taken. So it will execute the branch instruction, and based on the outcome of this branch instruction, it will generate this particular signal, is branch taken, whether the branch is taken or not. So these are the three functionalities that our execute stage has to perform. So we will continue the discussion about the execute stage in our next lecture. Till then, goodbye.